Welcome to Everyone Loves Guitar, where we sit down and talk with interesting professional guitar players, uncover their stories, and discover what makes them tick. If you love guitar, music, and the backstory of people's lives, stick around. You're in the right place. Hi, this is Craig. Just want to let you know you can now advertise here on Everyone Loves Guitar podcast. For more information, go to everyonelovesguitar.com/advertise. That's everyonelovesguitar.com/advertise. Hey, everybody, this is Craig Garber with Everyone Loves Guitar, and I've got a real special guest with me today. We're with Toshi Yanagi from the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Toshi's got a great story. He was born in Tokyo. Hello. He grew up with both his parents were musicians. His dad was a tenor singer. His mom was a pianist. He started playing piano at age 4 and the violin at age 5. At age 11, he joined the Tokyo Junior Philharmonic Orchestra, and he showed a promising future as a classical musician, just like his parents always wanted him to be. However, fate intervened, and 1 year later, 8-year-old Toshi saw a new day dawning. He listened to something called the Far East Network Radio, and he got exposed to some incredible music he'd never heard before, which was rock music, of course, and he dived right into the music by the heroes of rock, such as Deep Purple, Yes, Led Zeppelin, Eddie Van Halen, Steve Lukather, and Jeff Beck. At this point, much to his parents' disappointment, I'm sure, he dropped the violin and piano and instead picked up an electric guitar and began the new chapter of his musical life. In 1985, he came to America. He spent his first year in San Francisco immersing himself into blues clubs every night. He played guitar to overcome the language barrier, and soon enough, he was performing on stage every week. A year later, he moved to Los Angeles and joined Musicians Institute in Hollywood, where he absorbed jazz, fusion, soul, and contemporary music and expanded his personal network at the same time. He graduated from MI in 1988, and he took a teaching position that the school offered him enthusiastically. After 6 months, he stepped out on his own to start his career as a professional guitar player. In 1992, he got the gig playing with the house band at the famous Baked Potato in LA. And through this, he wound up playing with people like Cecilia Noel and the Wild Clams, Savory, and they opened for bands like Sheryl Crow, Bryan Adams, Taylor Dane, Men at Work, and other national acts. In 98, he began appearing on network TV shows, and he started playing sessions in LA. From there, he played with Grammy-winning Latin rock band La Lays, the soundtrack for the Microsoft Xbox game Forza Motorsport, and a soundtrack album of Two for the Money, which was a Universal Pictures film starring Al Pacino. In 2004, he had a great year because he was named by, and Toshi, tell me if I mess this up, Eikichi Yazawa. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
Thanks. He was named by Eikichi Yazawa, who is a top-notch artist in Japan, and Eikichi had Toshi join his 55-way Japanese tour. It was his first time returning home after 20 years, and again, his first time to play and perform and tour professionally in Japan. Currently, Toshi's in the in-house band member of ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live, and he also plays one of the characters in the show. He has a monthly gig at the Baked Potato with the Buzz Wizards, which is his band, with Jürgen Carlson on bass and Steve Ferrone on drums. And we'll talk about later, he also has another monthly gig with Jamie Kime, who I interviewed here, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 months ago, again at the Baked Potato. Toshi, thanks so much for your time, man. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Greg.
Hey, man, so what prompted you to move to the States in 1985? That's a big move.
I was supposed to go to a music university in Japan, and my parents were teaching me, training me to go there, but I wasn't really, they felt that I wasn't really into it, So they said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I think I want to play guitar. Want to be a professional musician." And my mom said, "Okay, then you've been listening to music from United States, So why don't you go there? And she gave me a one-way ticket. I remember China Airline at the time, from Haneda Airport, coming from Haneda Airport. Anyway, so she gave me a one-way ticket to just go, come over here, and said, okay, good luck.
That's really cool.
They were really brave, Yeah.
That's a very just open-minded and supportive move on your parents' part.
I think because they wanted to come here when they were young, but they couldn't, because the war and, war just ended, and the financially, or it just, I think they wanted to pass on their dream to me or something, kind of.
That's great.
So, yeah. And then plus, at the time, I had a band with American high school guys, and one of the guitar player had a Musicians Institute pamphlet, like a brochure, and on the front of it, it had Eddie Van Halen and Alan Holdsworth, and Jeff Berlin was on the cover. Saying, "Oh, yes, I want to go there instantly." That's the yeah. So that's why that was my first initial thought. You know what I mean?
That's really cool. I think that because that's not, they could have easily gone the other way and been very conservative and saying,
sure,
you're disappointing us. We trained you to be a classical musician and we wanted you to follow the tradition of our family. That was very, very cool, man. I think it's really awesome.
Yeah.
Have they come over here to the States?
Yeah. Yes, they have.
And they've seen you play?
Yeah. I was, they've been here a few times. A few years ago, my dad passed, but
sorry.
Before all that, he came over here, and also they have been. They saw me play at the Budokan in Tokyo with the Yazawa, So that was a good kind of a return moment and proud moment, I guess.
Yeah. So everything they had wanted to do for themselves, they probably got to see you, and you're a parent yourself. That they were probably very proud seeing that, man.
I hope so. And yeah,
that's cool.
That was a good moment.
Good story, man. Thank you. When you first came here, what were some of the biggest adjustments between U.S. and Japan, both like culturally overall, and then in terms of like everyday living? Because you didn't even speak the language. I don't know how the hell you did it.
Yeah, I was just turned 19, and I came. When I came here, I could not understand language. Only word I knew was "I'm hungry" and "hello." That's the two words. No, just. Everything was so different and new to me, and I just have nothing but fun memories, just learning new things, and language probably the number one thing, and the food.
Oh yeah,
number two. Yeah. It was so good, like those burgers and everything. I got fat. So. Anyway, that was different.
What was the biggest, like, odd thing that you had to get used to day to day that took a while, maybe?
Number one thing, culturally, it's different than Japan. Japan is a little conservative, and here you got to speak up. You have to, speak out your thoughts and mind, and that, and also for the language barrier, and even more sense of humor. It's so different. I still have a problem now. Everybody's laughing around me, and I don't think I'm, that's funny to me,
Yeah.
Those things are difficult for me.
Sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah, you know,
totally.
especially I mean on the Kimmel and doing a bit or something. You know, I'm in the spot and I have to say something or like I have to do something and then, okay, if you think this is funny, I'll do it, but I don't know if this, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so those things.
What made you pick San Francisco? Did you have any family there?
I know. I had a friend in Japan that been to this English language school. That then I didn't know anybody or any place, so that was the only place that get a hold of, you know, close to me in Japan. So I applied it and they approved me. It's just a language school, you know. So
Sure.
that's why and also like close to Los Angeles. So yeah, that's why I picked that town.
Very cool. Yeah, I think most cultures compared to the U.S., I think that's something that has to get taken used to as far as speaking up. I think that's an adjustment. I think even in certain places in the U.S. that might be a smaller town, when they move to a bigger city, especially a coastal city, you know, in California, New York, Texas, I think even there it's an adjustment moving from one place in the States to another with having to speak up, where certain, you know, communities here in the States, that's not done. Southern communities, for example, you're more subtle and, you know, stuff like that. So I can understand. Yeah. Even my wife, she's from England, and even she had an issue. I mean, she's been here a long time, you know, 30 years, but even she had an issue with that because England's very conservative as well. But at least they speak the same language, sort of.
Right.
You know?
Sure.
When you left Musicians Institute in '88 to play full time, did you have a steady gig lined up? Because I think that's a big leap of faith to leave a full-time paid gig to go out and play professionally. I give you respect for that.
Not really. No, not at all, actually. I probably had a gig, $50 gig here and there. Well, I used to, for a part-time job, I used to do, at the time, it's early 90s, Japan had a lot of money. So the artist, bunch of artists come here and record the album, but they don't speak the language. So I was hired by this coordinating company. So I was a driver / kind of translator. So I was doing that kind of gig besides the small, you know, gigs here and there. Yeah, that's what I was doing at the time. Then, even though I had a, you know, regular gig at the Potato with Cecilia every Monday, it pays, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't really pay much.
Sure.
But I was doing, definitely, it's one of the biggest experience musically and, you know, communication and life kind of experience. Definitely that was one of the biggest moment in my life. So I was struggling, but I didn't feel
you were struggling, but you didn't feel like it was a grind.
Nah
because you were
nothing but fun memory.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And then in 1992 you got the gig playing at the Baked Potato in the house band. How did you get that gig? And if you can maybe talk about the opportunities that came from that.
I wouldn't say house band because it's, you know, I was just playing every Monday night with a Cecilia. Okay. You know? It's a bunch of studio guys, and I was so green. But this band, it just trained me so well, and all, Clito and Clitones met in this band. Everybody was, one point playing this band. So it's really schooling, the good schooling moment.
Sure. What kind of opportunities came?
Opportunity, definitely. The Jimmy Kimmel band is a great example, but also this band opened up so much door to get the different gigs here and there. Because of it, I met Colin Hay, and the Men at Work. I toured with them. So as the artist comes in to see that band and have me on their albums, or perhaps doing another gigs, just a good network. Playing at the Potato is a good networking place for working musicians. Still now these days, I think.
Yes.
So, and one of the albums that I grew up listening to, inspired me the most, was the Greg Mattson project, which recorded at the Potato, played by Greg Mattson and Steve Lukather, Pops Popel, and Jeff Porcaro. And that album was phenomenal and just gave me just a hope and dream of, okay, one of these days I wanted to play at the Potato. That was one of my goals. So playing at the Potato is definitely a dream come true moment for me. And just to start from there and go in a different direction, it's a good thing.
And now you play there all the time, man.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yes.
I think that's, and maybe I'm jaded because I'm from here, but I think that's one of the reasons people are so attracted to move to the States, because you can really do almost anything if you work hard enough for it.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. If you think hard or dream hard enough, your body moves towards there, and just don't quit. Just keep doing it, and then someday, hopefully, just come true.
Yeah, well, I agree with you, man.
Yeah.
1997, you appeared on a television show called Vibe. If you can talk about the show and the opportunities that came from that work.
Okay. I was in a band. Actually, I was in a band with Terry Lynn Carrington, female drummer.
Yeah.
She played with Herbie Hancock, and she was a child prodigy. And anyway, that's another example. She saw me playing at the Cecilia's band. She approached me, "Hey, you want to come play with my band?" I said, "Sure." So, and one day I get a call from Greg Filligans. Hey, we're doing this TV show. You want to play in the band? I said, at the time, I didn't know who Greg was. I was rockhead, so I didn't know who he was anyway. So I said, sure, okay. I didn't know what was the role. And he goes, we're playing R&B and funk and pop and jazz, and you can do all of that, right? I said, sure, which I could not do at the time, but I say yes to every gig and then think about it.
Sure.
That's one of my philosophy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Terry is the one that recommended me to Greg. She was on the drum chair. Greg was on keys. He was the musical director, and Byron Miller was on bass. And David DeLume was the second key chair, and percussionist was Peter Michael Escovedo, which is Sheila E.'s brother.
Okay.
So I was in the band somehow, and I did it. I think that was 8 months. I was doing that, but from there on, after that, TV was canceled. The Peter Michael got the gig on another TV show called The Martin Short Show. He was the MD on that gig, so he kind of pulled me into that. Guitar chair on that program. So from there, Peter Michael got another after Martin Short Show. There was a Wayne Brady show, daytime show, and he got that gig, and he was nice enough to pull me in there again. So, when I was doing that gig, my friend Cleto, which is Jimmy Kimmel musical director, he called us. He called me and Jeff Babko, the keyboard. I got this musical director chair of Jimmy Kimmel live. Can you guys help me, do this? We didn't know which one was going to stick, but daytime versus nighttime, we just jumped on to late night, we wanted to try. So then One Falls in 6 months, we are still on the air 16 years later. So it was a good jump.
So at the time, you started Kimmel 2002-ish, correct?
Yes, I think 2003.
2003?
Is it?
Okay.
No, 2. Okay, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, 2, 3, whatever. So you had been in the States at that point for about 17 years, right? Did you?
Yes.
At any point in time there, did you ever stop and say, "Holy shit! I cannot believe what the hell is going on." I came here, I couldn't even speak English, and look at, was it almost like a dream come true, or what was?
I guess so, but I didn't. It was so I was almost desperate every day, learning songs or playing a gig. I just didn't. I don't think about that now either. This is everyday thing, and I gotta make a living or the. But definitely, it's a greatest life experience I'm having.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't really pat my shoulder yet.
No, I don't mean in a patting your shoulder way. I mean in a like a gratitude way. Holy shit, I can't believe this is actually happening. And listen, you made it happen
every day.
Yeah. No, I don't mean
every day. I think of that.
Yeah, and you made it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't have done it if you didn't work as hard as you did, and if you weren't as obsessed with learning as you were. So, I mean,
I feel like all people around me, it's so nice.
Sure.
It just helps me all the time, and I really appreciate that. Since day one at the San Francisco days, there was always somebody to help me, and just so appreciative, so great. Yeah, I can't thank enough.
That's great. Are you good with, when you first came here, were you awkward about asking for help or accepting help, or were you always good, comfortable with that?
Well, always I don't want to disturb anybody, disturb their time, but I just wanted to ask, questions and.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
Talk about when you went back to Japan. What was that like for you? And had things changed at all from 20 years prior?
Change means
Well, when you went back to Japan, was it the same Japan that you remembered, or were things different?
uh, Japan is always a nice country, and I always have thought, I always felt that, and but when Yazawa hired me and have me on the road, he gets so much respect there, and playing with him, it just people come up to me and hey, congratulations, getting this gig, and it's just my friends are proud of me, my parents are proud of me. So in that sense, just giving something back to my friends and family, that was kind of good feeling.
Good. That's nice, man.
Yes.
What is the biggest difference in the music business between Japan and United States?
I think it's getting tougher and tougher. Studio gigs and just gig generally, both countries, I think.
Sure.
But more so, Japan's musicians, those places, in culture, it's a little bit lower than here. Here, you get a little more respect, I think.
Really?
Here in Europe, musicians, but in Japan, I think in Japan is a little, yeah.
Interesting.
But I don't stay long enough to really feel it.
Sure.
And I only know, they, in the Yazawa's gig, I get treated like foreign musicians. So I think pay is different. When you're, coming from here and just living in Japan. So not exactly sure how much, but, yeah.
Have you ever heard of a Japanese writer called Haruki Murakami?
Yeah. Who's that? Haruki Murakami?
Yeah, so he's like one of my favorite fiction writers. He is fucking brilliant, man. I mean, he's just an amazing writer. And the reason I asked is because, his novels, he's probably got 30 books, and his novels are translated into languages all over. And in his books, he used to own a jazz club in Tokyo.
Oh yeah.
So he always has like things like old jazz records on vinyl, and listening to going into a jazz club to listen. He's got like certain specific things that he mentions in every book, like things like eating spaghetti, eating boiled eggs, listening to jazz from the 50s and maybe early 60s. So I was just curious. He's an amazing writer. I just was curious if you heard of him. Just a brilliant writer.
No, but I got to check it out. Yeah.
Oh, he's phenomenal, man.
Cool.
On Kimmel's show, you've played with so many people. What would be like the top 2 or 3 musical experiences you've had there?
Played with Billy Gibbons. I recently played with Ace Frehley from Kiss.
Oh, okay, Ace Frehley, yeah.
Really, yeah. It's just so much. It just one of the best musical experience was, I tell you, best and worst. The best was the so far Maceo Parker. Maceo?
Yeah, from James Brown's.
James Brown's. Yeah. Man, that one saxophone, he was grabbing all of us. It just for the groove, he pulled, just by the neck, just drag us around, and in a good way, and just we couldn't believe how much that's his groove and playing affects the one, saxophone affects the entire band, just so funky and musical, and that was one of the best experience I've had. The worst was not. I don't want to talk bad about anybody, but Eddie Money.
Really? What happened with Eddie Money?
He came in and we have learned the songs, but he kind of changed the key 3 times. So I didn't know what to do. Just at the end, I retuned the guitar 3 times or something. I can't remember how I did it, and he kind of caught me. I was kind of screwing up the solo, and he goes, "Hey man, that was a signature solo. You got to play it right," or something like that. He said, "Well, you changed the key 3 times, in the last 10 minutes." So that was a tough moment, definitely.
Yeah. And Eddie Money hasn't exactly he's not exactly a big star in the last 15 years. So that's weird that he would do that.
He got, he was suggesting, I guess, but
yeah, that was good, man.
So many stories, but I can't, think of it right now. I have to write it down. Yeah.
Are you working on anything else now that you're excited about?
Well, I am writing for my new album and just try to find the new, how to say, try to find a new feeling, I guess, of image of the album. I always like to write for the feeling, for the entire album. So I'm kind of finding a little bit riffs here and there has that feeling of it. So that's kind of exciting. And recently I got it's kind of gig writing for game music, video game.
Yeah,
or the and also slot machine or the something like that. Anyway, so I've been writing for that, and that's kind of a exciting thing.
Well, it adds another, opportunity to make money in the music business, which you got to have nowadays, man.
Sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
And the new album, that's for the Buzz Wizards that you're talking about.
Yes, I'd like to. Yeah, I would like to record with those guys.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: how does your childhood growing up in Japan different from your children's childhood growing up in LA?
Well, first of all, they already speak 2 different languages. That's awesome.
Yes.
And I take my kids to Japan once or twice a year. So they, not only the language, they can feel the culture, understand the culture, not just the language. So that's, I think that's opened their mind up a little bit more,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That's a great opportunity for them. And also, my wife gives them, and I gives them a lot of different aspect, like studying language or studying things in different both languages. And also they play golf, music, piano and guitar. My younger one started guitar, and she performed. I do it like twice, 2 gigs in Japan every summer, I do twice. Anyway, she got up and played one song. Remember Peter Gunn?
Yeah.
The
old, yeah.
So she got up and played with me and my band, and I thought she would freak because she never played in front of the audience, and she just started it. But no, man, after she got done playing, people were applauding, and she got that face, like smiling face. So she got hooked on it.
That's cool, man.
So, and she said, next year I want to play Crazy Train.
That's pretty cool, man.
So she's studying right now. So
that's great.
They have a more diverse, things than when I was a kid. Only thing my parents taught me was the music.
Sure.
So.
Sure.
Yeah. So they have a more different angle. Yeah, that's cool. Cool, I think.
Did you have brothers and sisters you grew up with?
Nope, I'm only son.
Only son. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And both your parents were professional musicians, or did they do this as a hobby on the side? Oh, they're both professional. That's awesome.
My mom accompanied my father, and also she was teaching at home. Piano teacher. We had a lot of students. And my dad also taught in university, I think, in Tokyo, and also he was, playing gigs, to do the recitals here and there. So
very cool, man.
Yeah.
If you could go back and give advice to your younger self, what advice would you have benefited from, assuming you were willing to listen?
Don't fuck around so much. Just practice more.
It sounds like you practice all the time, man.
Well, not enough. I don't think. I would, definitely tell myself that. A little more jazz. Jazz music, jazz.
Is that what you like to play the most?
It's just a good skill to have, I think.
Yeah.
I'm a struggling jazz musician, so greener the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always greener on the other side. I hear you, man. Hey, let's talk about gear for a few minutes. What's your favorite guitar to pick up right now, and what's other two round out your top three?
I like Les Paul, Gibson Les Paul, and also I play exotic guitar. The pedal company.
Yeah, Dean Brown.
They have a guitar.
Yeah, I've talked to Rob Garland.
Okay.
Yeah, a bunch of their guys.
I'm one of the endorsers there. They're really good company to do. Nice people and really creative, I think. Kiyoshi is the one he does my pedals come aboard. He's the one of the designer there, pedal and guitar. So yeah. My go-to Les Paul is two of them. I have a 69 Les Paul Deluxe, like this one.
Okay, Black Beauty with okay, what kind of pickups are on there, man? That's a nice guitar.
It's original.
Does that weigh a ton? That must be heavy as shit.
Not the like a 70s. I used to have a 72 Black Beauty, but it's way heavier. This is a little lighter than that.
69.
And I have a 2016 True Historic 59 reissue.
Mm-hmm.
It's super great, super light, awesome tone.
Burst?
Yeah, Burst. I don't have it here. I have it at the Kimmel right now. But and also recording, I use the 62 Tele.
Wow, that's a
Sorry, 66.
That's a pretty guitar, man. It's
66.
It looks like TV yellow with a ebony fretboard.
Yeah,
that's.
But
really
I
nice.
have.
Yeah, what do you have in there?
I have the Firebird little humbucker.
Oh, the mini humbucker from a Firebird. Oh, that's cool, man.
It's pretty good. So it's really nice.
So you have the mini humbucker in the neck pickup, and in the bridge is the original Tele pickup?
Tele pickup. Yeah, and also there's this company called M Guitar.
Okay.
This is made by guy Hiro Miura, Japanese guy who used to work at the Exotic Guitar. He was mainly a bass builder, but he opened up his own company and he built me this guitar, and it's really good. Nice.
Very cool.
Tone. I have a Voodoo pickup on it. Peter Florence in Texas. I use his pickup. Yeah.
Very good, man. This is a tough question. Who's your favorite guitar player?
Well, two, Eddie Van Halen and Steve Lukather is a main influence of mine, and followed by Jeff Beck and Robin Ford and David Williams. Do you know him?
David Williams? No, I don't.
He's the main rhythm guy on Michael Jackson's and the Chaka Khan and those guys.
I'm gonna have to check him out. I had Robin on this show. I'll send you
the main. Oh yeah, cool.
I'll send you the interview. Yeah, I'll have to check out David Williams. Have you gotten to play with Lukather or Eddie?
He's a great. Luke came to my house and recorded on my one of my songs called Spud Magic.
Very cool.
And we were kind of trading the solos, and he's a good mentor, playing and also human. As a person, he's awesome. Really hurtful. He's a good example.
Very cool. Man.
It's really nice to.
What's the first CD or record you ever purchased?
I think it was Hydra by Toto or Van Halen 2, I think.
How about this? This is another tough question. Name your top 3 Desert Island discs. Just for today, knowing that it could change tomorrow. Yeah, no.
How many? 3?
3, yeah, top 3.
Okay. Do you know a band called Mute Math?
Mute Math?
Math.
Yeah, I know. I've heard of them. Yes, I have. The guy's name is like Dave Math or something, right? Is that the?
Mute Math and like a numbers math.
Yeah, MATH.
I like their first CD. And also, I would say Massive Attacks, Mezzanine, their second album, I think. And what else? And Coldplay's first CD, I believe.
Yeah, it's a pretty album.
Yeah.
It's hard to listen to them and not like them. You know, I mean, people say a lot of stuff, but I mean, they're all their songs work, man. You know.
Oh, so good! Like hit your chest. You know.
Great writer. You know, reminds you almost not different music, but very similar, like kind of like Elton John. That very creative writer. You know.
Right.
All right, another tough song, man. Another tough question. What do you like most about yourself?
Me?
Yeah.
I hate myself.
That's probably if I ask that question.
I guess.
Go ahead.
I guess I'm super optimistic.
Yeah, that's great.
And one thing I learned in the States, just don't take yourself so seriously.
Yeah.
I learned that, because then if you have a space so you can grow a little bit more, in Japan, you're just so serious and really uptight. And so you break. But here it's a little bit different. Just to give yourself a little space so you can breathe a little bit more, I think. People have that, and
yeah, this is a very
that's important.
This is a very forgiving culture.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's much easier to
second chance, third chance.
Absolutely.
And if you fuck up in Japan once, and that's it kind of thing,
Yeah.
That's not fair. So
yeah,
I'm glad I'm here.
Good, man. How about the other side? If you could change one thing about yourself, what would you do? What would that thing be?
Practice more. I'm just kidding. Change myself a little bit more. More truthfully. I need to be more truthful to myself about what I want to do, or not so much beating around bush. I feel that.
Good, man. You're using all these American expressions now, beating around the bush and all that kind of stuff. So good. You got it, man. You're totally you got it licked. You're good, man.
They're Americanized.
Yeah, you're very Americanized for sure, man. Most important thing your dad taught you, and most important thing your mom taught you.
I guess be nice to your friends, and just always, be thankful. Yeah, they're good people. Yeah, so that, and practice more. They always somehow used to hit me. So, yeah.
What's your now you're married, right? With kids? How old are your kids?
Two kids, 8 and 12, both girls.
Oh, man, you must have done something in a prior life that was not good.
Oh, this life. Karma.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I found
they're great.
Oh yeah, girls were a little more stressful for me than boys. So my daughter was more stressful than my sons. Oh, I have two sons, 28 and 26, and an 18-year-old daughter. And she was more stressful than the two of them combined times 5, pretty much. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So maybe that was just me or her. Do you have any hobbies or interests outside of music?
Interest? Sorry, you got cut off.
Hobbies or interests outside of music?
Right now, I would play I would start golfing,
Mm-hmm.
but not yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a time for it right now.
But you like golf.
I like, well, I don't know. I like hanging out with my friends, but that's not hobby. Not really. Music is my hobby and job right this second. So
Sure.
which is not good.
Well, it's
people
tough.
say.
It's tough not to. It's very hard
Yeah.
to have outside hobbies, you know. In general, if you
I like watching movies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What kind of movies?
Horror movies.
That's cool, man.
By the way, I played on the upcoming horror movie, Nightmare Cinema. It's like a 4 different director omnibus film. It's coming up in this Halloween, I think. It's called Nightmare Horror, and check it. You know, yeah, I think I can't remember the title, but I played the guitar part on a short film by Ryuhei Kitamura. Ryuhei Kitamura.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
Hey, 2 more questions, Toshi, and
Yes.
I appreciate it. What is the best advice you've ever been given, and who gave it to you?
I don't know if this is well, one thing is just be nice to your friends and family, and you know, other players, or you know, just that's kind of obvious. But also, the Monyongo Jackson percussionist gave me the advice called expect everything, don't expect everything.
Who
Who
gave you that?
Monyongo Jackson. I think he plays with Stevie Wonder.
That's very
He's
cool.
a great percussionist.
That's really cool. Expect everything, don't expect everything.
Yeah,
that's really
especially
cool.
I felt that when the first TV show ended, it was so blocked. After I purchased a cars and house,
Oh my God.
3 days later, I closed escrow. We were not told, we didn't know anybody. And my wife is in the audience, and the Sinbad was the host on Vibe, and he goes, "By the way, today's the last show of the Vibe. See you later." And we were
Holy
looking at each other.
shit.
What the hell? What are we gonna do? We just bought a house, you know.
Oh my God.
So,
But then Kimmel came along
yeah,
right after
definitely. Well, it was a more Martin Short.
that. Oh, Martin Short. Right. And then
uh,
Kimmel.
But in between, I had like about 3-4 months lag, you know. So, but luckily, somebody watching me playing on the show, which was Taylor Dane's musical director, and he kind of pulled me into a little short tour, so I could survive, you know. So
Oh, wow.
definitely thankful. Yeah.
Wow. That was really
Worked out.
clutch. Holy shit, man. Good for you. Wow. It's funny how, like, yeah, right. Another American expression there. You're done, man. You're fully fledged. Isn't it funny how, like, sometimes things happen like that?
Yes. Almost all the time, you know, that those coincidence happens. So it's lucky.
Yeah.
Totally.
Hey, and last question, Toshi. Biggest change in your personality over the last 10 years, and how much of this change has been deliberate and intentional, and how much is just a function of aging?
I'm keep saying definitely. I keep thinking really, this life is thankful. Giving me so much opportunities. So I really every day I really appreciated doing. I could survive doing music. But before, I don't know. I used to be more selfish. I'm selfish now, but I was more selfish back then. Just didn't think about, my friends. I come to think of it, a few times I was really brutal, or how I treat them really badly. And so I really be careful now. But yeah, so that's mainly, I'm more conscious of it, I think.
Very cool. So you're living more in gratitude than...
It comes back.
Oh, yes. Yeah, man. That's cool. Yeah, it definitely comes back, man. And plus, it's less stressful.
Yeah. Yes, true.
Less stressful.
Totally.
It's less stressful. Being an asshole is stressful. Hey, man. Thank you very much for your time. You're a sweet guy. I'm really glad you're a great player. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Let me tell people where they could find you. Of course, Toshi's on Jimmy Kimmel Live every night. His CD with the Buzz Wizards is on CD Baby. You can check it out there, and that's his band with Jürgen Carlson. He has a standing gig the first Monday of every month with Jamie Kime, Kime, at the Baked Potato. And Jamie's a great player. Toshi's a great player, man. That's got to be a hell of a show. And he is going to have his own residency every month, probably after the first of the new year. You can also find him on Facebook at Toshi Yanagi Music. It's TOSHIYANAGI Music. And also you could find him on Facebook at Toshinari Yanagi, at TOSHINARI Yanagi, YANAGI. And on Instagram and Twitter, he's at Toshi Yanagi Music. Man, any final words of wisdom?
Just don't stop. Keep playing.
Good man. Thank you. I really appreciate it, man. Everybody, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you,
You're welcome, Toshi. If you enjoyed this interview, share it with a friend on your social media channels. We certainly appreciate your support with this. Thanks again to Toshi Yanagi for spending time with us. I really appreciate it. And make sure you go to the homepage of everyonelovesguitar.com. Sign up to get on our newsletter list. We'll give you advance notice of guests and the opportunity to ask them your own questions. And most important, remember that happiness is a choice, so choose wisely. Be nice. Go play your guitar and have fun. Till next time, peace and love, everybody.
Right.
I'm out. We hope you enjoyed this show. If you did, subscribe to the Everyone Loves Guitar podcast, and you can do this online at everyonelovesguitar.com or on iTunes. And if you like the show, please leave us a 5-star positive review. The more 5-star reviews we get, the higher our show ranks, and higher rankings mean we get to continue speaking with cool, interesting guests on our show. We'll see you on the next episode, and until then, keep playing your guitar and have fun making music.